And we're alive. It's good news. So, hello from Tel Aviv. Right away, we are going to find Anna Venizelos in New York City. Let's see. It's always the most exciting part when we find out whether she's going to answer or not. Let's see what happens. I hope she says yes. I hope she says yes. Waiting for Anna Venizelos. Hello, Mika. Thanks for joining. I see Anna kind of there, but let's see. We're waiting. Antia's there. Sport pole dance. Hello. Waiting for Anna Venizelos. Who do you think? Should I try her again? Or maybe she's just playing hard to get. She could do that. I bet she would do that. Okay, we're going to try this again. I'll just wave to some of you. So today we are talking about injuries. So I want you to think about your favorite injuries. We've thought about ours. All right, I'm going to go off, quote unquote. Hey, Circo Ganja. And, oh wait,
Hi!
There she is. Oh, I was just like vamping. I was like, okay, she's totally blowing me off this week. She's so bored of me. How could that ever happen?
That would never happen.
Hi from Boston Ballet. Wow, that's fancy. Micah, Mika, Misha, thank you.
Hello, hello.
Cool. Hey, Anna, what's new?
What's new? Well, not much, to be honest. You know, same old, same old. We have a big election coming up. Some of you might know about that. Do you know about that, Jonathan?
I've read something about that. That's a bit in the news here in the Middle East.
Yeah,
who is it? It's like we don't even, let's not even talk about it. But vote. If you are in the United States of America,
please vote.
Vote.
Yes, it's essential. It's essential.
Yes. So now that we got that out of the way.
We wanted to give a shout out to your mom.
Yes. Okay, this is episode 7, and we want to give a shout out to my mom. Mom, this one's for you. Because my mom enjoys our Contorted. Anna's mom thinks we're a little too chatty. So let's talk about our favorite. Okay, so we're going to get into injuries very soon. But as you may all know, the last performance that Anna and I ever did on the planet Earth so far was at the Metropolitan Opera in 2020, I guess that was. Was that like February?
February 2020, right before the shutdown.
Just before the shutdown, we did 8 out of 9 shows. The 9th was canceled. And we did our contortion. Yay, we do that in the show. And then at the very end, we have just before the curtain call, we all change little partners and everybody gets married off. And then finally, we end up with the person that we're really going to marry. And Anna and I end up together. Right, Anna?
Yep.
And we're in each other's arms. And the curtain's just about to go down. And we come in together. And what do?
We kiss. We have a moment.
And what do I always say?
That's my mommy's favorite moment.
It is. My mommy loves it when we almost kiss. All right, so let's get into it.
Okay.
Contorted, episode 7.
Injuries.
Welcome. Injuries. Part of the game, kids. You start.
Yeah, so we've both had a career of about 20 years. Am I correct in saying that, Jonathan?
At least, and then some.
At least, and then some. Yeah. So basically, during your career, you're going to face injuries, and you may face several injuries. We both have, and I think it's important to let you all know that it's not a case of avoiding them. They're going to happen, right? It's more so a case of how you deal with them, what you learn from them, and how you move forward.
Precisely, exactly. Anna and I were talking a little bit before, and if you are getting into this game, if you're taking on contortion as a career, and if that's the goal and that's where you want to be going, and whether it's contortion or whether it's dance or whether you're going to be a gymnast or whether anything physical using your body, you need to know that if you're using this as your mechanism, the machine and the mechanism at some point is going to give out. It's just the nature of it. If you're a race car driver, the car is going to need an oil change, or it's going to crash now and then, and you got to get the bumps out and change the tires. So the body is the same way, regardless. And the thing is, and what we talk about in coaching and finding your good coach, the thing is that the better you know your body and to be your own mechanic, quote unquote,
Yeah,
and to know your machine, then you're going to be able to come through your injuries better, both physically and mentally. And
definitely.
mentally is such a great big part of it.
I think that's the bigger part, wouldn't you say?
I really do, because
Yeah.
it's kind of harder. It's harder to go through. I know that like one. I mean, like I think my most recent was my bicep reattachment,
Mm-hmm.
and that took my shoulder out, and that was a good maybe 5 months that I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really able to do. And it's that whole reconceptualizing who we are as physical artists if we don't have our physical aspect,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
where it really gets difficult in the brain. And you've definitely had your share of.
Yeah. Actually, I did a post. I can't remember when it was, maybe about a week ago or so. It's like a couple posts back and just talked a little bit about injuries. And I definitely had two major ones when I was with Cirque. And those kind of ended that chapter of my career, actually. That's why I left Cirque du Soleil. It was a hip injury and a shoulder injury. And they kind of came about just through repetition, through repetitive strain. You know, something was a little off, a little off, a little off, and I just kept repeating and repeating and repeating, ignoring and ignoring.
Mm.
And you know, then it turned into a big issue. So injuries, you know, they can come on in different ways. You can have one, let's say, traumatic incident, you know, like you fall and you tear your ACL, for example. Or more likely, I mean, especially as performers, it's just that little bit of wear and tear that just keeps building up and building up and building up. Or you know you're just slightly off, you're slightly off, but you don't make corrections in your training. And then, you know, it takes maybe years even, but then you end up with an issue down the line.
Very, very much. What's kind of, have you done a stupid thing where like you just knew that it was going to kind of like lead to an injury and then you got it? I,
That's
I
a
have
good
one.
question. I definitely have many times, and luckily they didn't lead to bad injuries, but it's always been a matter of overtraining, you know? Like if
Mm.
I say did a training session in the morning and then came back and I was like, oh, my wrist is a little sore, and then came back and did another training session and blew up my wrist, you know? And I
Mm.
knew it was going to be too much ahead of time. The funny thing is, you know, we often have that little bit of intuition. Like you
Yeah,
kind of have this little voice that's
thousand
like,
percent.
don't do it, don't do it.
Totally. And then what do we do?
And then you do it, you
We
know?
do it.
We do it.
We do it.
Yeah.
Mine, yeah, mine was during the Met,
Hmm.
and I mean I've had many, like I've done a lot of
Yeah.
like kind of like
Hmm.
relatively dumb things, but it was during the Met,
Hmm.
and I auditioned for Shark Tank. Oh, did I say that? Yeah.
Ah,
And like I really didn't want to even do this audition, and I put it off so much. I didn't want to do this,
yeah.
and finally I was like, okay, I'll do it, and I did it. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, I didn't warm up enough, and I like filmed the
Mm-hmm.
whole thing, and it was great and all that. But I completely tweaked my shoulder, and it was just
Yeah.
before that kind of like second to last show that we did.
Yeah.
And you remember backstage, I was just
Yeah.
like, it was really difficult warming up for it,
Yeah.
and it became like 8 months that I could not do our back bend to handstand, contortion handstand, just a
Yeah.
tweaking there. And I told Anna, it's only like 2 days ago that I finally got it back, and I got it back through. And there's ways to get things back, and I think, and we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to talk about this. You get things back just through wanting them. That's an A. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to want really to get it back, and B, giving yourself the time to get it back,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and C, having the support and ideally a friend. And for me, like it's happened. Like I think there's at least 3 or 4 times that Anna has brought me back from the dead. You know, you have. I think that one of them was my tendon transfer from my
Uh-huh.
thumb. And
Uh-huh.
then the other was the shoulder. And then there was the meniscus too, the knee. But Anna
Yeah.
always was just like the most incredible training partner and friend, best friend that would be there for me, and was just like, Jonathan, you're a specimen. Of course you can do this and you'll get it back. Throw it out of your brain. But you need those things. If you don't
Yeah.
want it, okay, fine. Don't do it anymore. And
Yeah.
there's times in a career where it's like, There's a move that I don't do in my piece anymore, in my act, you know, contortion
Mm-hmm.
handstand down to crocodile.
Mm.
I just don't do it anymore, you know.
Mm.
I don't miss it, but I do really miss backbend to handstand because it's just gorgeous and classic. So I took these
Mm-hmm.
8 months, you know, and have trained it back.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I think it's so much about you know, not identifying so much with a skill or a skill set, but more of just finding the love for the training, for the practice, for just the time you put in, and just being committed to that, regardless of what skills you're doing in the moment, you know? Like, yes, it's always good to have goals and, you know, stuff that's down the road that you're working towards, but we all have ebbs and flows in our training. So you're not going to be doing your most difficult skills, your most, you know, you're not going to be your most flexible all the time. There's going to be times where you have to step back from that. Like, for instance, I had an old injury that kind of came back and haunted me for a good year and a half, almost 2 years. And that's when I started to weight train, like seriously weight train. And that just, I mean, that opened up so many doors for me, so many
mm,
possibilities, and I just got stronger in other ways. And like, I just fell in love with training for the sake of training and not so much for, you know, doing, like I was joking before with Jonathan, doing like, you know, the most technical one arms or whatever, you know. So I had to step back a little bit from the difficulty of certain skills, but in that stepping back, I feel like I gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight, and I sort of found the joy again. So that was really invaluable.
yeah, it's really important. Like sometimes, you know, I mean, it's all these little sort of quote unquote blessings in disguise in what life kind of
Mm-hmm.
hands us, you know, and that as contortionists, we're kind of controlling people. You know, as a contortionist, like a contortionist is a really freaking full on, like we're really intense, most contortionists, you know, we're really,
Mm.
because yeah, okay, hand balancing, yeah, you need to focus a lot. Yeah, if you're going to be a catcher, you need to catch your flyer for trapeze. But there's something about contortion that just makes it so precise and so unique and so like intense.
Well, it's so
That
extreme. I mean, it's just so extreme, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so extreme. So then when we have these moments that like set us that are gap moments, you know, it's important then that to give us these times and opportunity to sort of re-identify. And I were talking about this of, you know, so you have your if you have your injury time, then you know, we can't put our full identity into being a contortionist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have to see, okay, what else are we in life? What else is our identity? And I know that this time also of Corona time in 2020, you know, of stepping back from performing so much has really given us opportunities also to see who we are as humans beyond being Anna the contortionist or Jonathan the contortionist.
Yeah, it's been essential for me. It really has. I had a little bit more time in the beginning of coronavirus to actually do the certification program as a health coach, and that actually aligned more of the joy in my contortion training, because it just wasn't only about that anymore. And it was also about, you know, learning to help people in a different way. So I think it really is about having other interests. You know, yes, contortion takes an incredible amount of time. That is unavoidable. But I think having other interests outside of that, and outside of yourself too, like a way to just reach other
Thousand
people, I
percent.
think.
Thousand
Yeah.
percent. Yeah. Anna, what
Hmm.
was your like favorite or worst injury?
My favorite. Does anyone have a favorite injury?
I know, is that a weird question?
Oh my God.
I
Well,
think I have one.
you have a favorite? You want to know something funny? You know the
Uh
two stars that I have on my neck, my tattoo here? I don't know if you can
huh.
see. So when I left Cirque du Soleil, I had, as I talked about in the beginning of this IG Live, I had two pretty bad injuries. So I had a rotator cuff injury in my shoulder, and then I had a labral tear in my hip. And I mean, they were bad. They really took me down. I could barely walk at the end. So I got these two tattoos to kind of signify my two little stars
Wow.
to, yeah, represent those two injuries. So that was kind of a nice little thing there. And that took me about, that took me a good year and a half to get back to sort of a functional place where I could even walk without pain. So that was
No.
that was a lot. Yeah, that was a big one.
Wow. Yeah. It's so sadly though. I didn't know that star story, which I love.
Yeah, yeah,
But it's so sadly sort of not an atypical Cirque du Soleil story.
yeah, it's true.
It's so hard, when you're driving the
Yeah,
machine so hard and being pushed so hard. It's like almost
yeah.
everybody sort of comes out, it's like 2 years in, 2 years of,
It's pretty typical. Yeah.
it's really hard.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
either getting something replaced, or you're done.
Yeah, gone to pasture.
Done.
So if you have any questions, think about them, pull them in.
Yeah.
Do you want to know my favorite injury?
Please, yes, your
I mean,
favorite.
I
Not
really
your
think,
worst, your favorite.
I think that they're kind of
That's
the
important.
same. I mean, okay, well, it's kind of my favorite was
Okay.
the tendon because I ruptured this tendon on Broadway for Twyla Tharp, like
Yeah.
during a contortion handstand on Broadway, and I was like, I would give her another tendon. It's like that's kind of my favorite. If Twyla wants any tendon, I'll give it to her. I was like, I'll give her whatever tendon she wants.
Now
It was
wait,
just
hang
so
on.
good.
Did you feel it? Did you feel it in the moment? So it just went
I
like
did
poof.
not. No, I
Okay.
was just in the contortion handstand and it came off. I could do everything. Like everything was fine. And then I played trumpet. I reached for my trumpet and my thumb was just like dead.
Oh
It
my
was just like
gosh.
dead thumb. It was like, oh, my thumb is dead. So
Wow.
that was that.
Wow.
So that was kind of my favorite. But then another favorite was the hip one, which was a very mysterious injury, which is one of the injuries that it's one of those things that you really need to be so just like putting out the network of what anything can be, because a lot of injuries sometimes people just have no idea where it's coming from. So this
Yeah.
was when I with America's Got Talent. No, it was before America's Got Talent, but I was sitting too much, and that was
Mm.
when the nerve got off of groove in my hip flexor.
I remember that. Yeah.
So bad. Same thing. Yes, Ariel Alexander. Of course, I play the trumpet. How do you think I got into Berkeley? I got it. I cheated, kind of that. And I got into Berkeley as a music major, classical trumpet. Fun fact. Never played trumpet again once I got in. It's true. But with the nerve, it was a similar thing to Anna. Couldn't walk, and nobody could
Yeah.
figure out what this pain was. MRIs, scans, everything. And that's when Karen Rudiger, who I think I've spoken of before, and we're a big fan of, finding people, talking to people that who can put you in the right direction. So it's just it's very important to put your networks out, and generally that over time will get you back.
I kind of consider myself a hip and shoulder specialist, by the way.
So call Anna.
Just hip and shoulder.
Yeah. I don't know what specialist I am. I don't know. So that's a little bit. Atko, hello. Oh my gosh. So nice to see
Hi,
Atko
Atko.
Waller. We love you so much. Wow.
Atko's an incredible coach.
Incredible coach. We respect her so much. Incredible coach, artist, performer.
Amazing.
Let's just gush love about Atko for a little bit. We love you. So if any of you have any questions, feelings about injuries, what you might have, what you want to get through, throw them our way. Anna does have a little not a giveaway, but a super discount.
A discount code. Yeah. So for those of you that were listening to it was the supplement episode we did, I believe. We talked a little bit about CBD, right? So I'm bringing up CBD more. I mean, it's great for many, many things, but I'm bringing up more as far as pain goes. And it has been super helpful for me as far as pain. I just kind of want to say how it works. So CBD is a cannabinoid, which we have this system in our body called the endocannabinoid system, and it basically is throughout our body, and it produces good feelings, like it's a feel good chemical in your body, and CBD is basically encouraging this chemical to be produced throughout the body. So it does not work like a painkiller or an anti-inflammatory. In fact, it's completely different. It's safe to use every day. You can use it as much or as little as you want. And again, it works with your body's endocannabinoid system. So it's something that's already in your body and we're just enhancing it. And that's part of the reason why I love it. So this company that I really like and have been using for about 3 years now is called NED, N-E-D. And maybe we can put it in our stories, Jonathan. What do you think?
I think we totally can and should and will.
Should I mention the code now?
That's such a good question.
I'll mention the code and then
well,
we'll
I don't know.
back it
Maybe
up.
we should make people like wave to us. And if they wave at us, then we'll mention the code. Because I feel like, I don't know, we need some love. Like throw us some some little hearts. Throw us a heart. Come on, people. We love you. Give us some little like, give us a wave or a heart. All right, fine. We're just going to give you the code. Well, how much is the discount?
It's 15%.
What? That's amazing.
Yeah, wow. Which is pretty significant.
Oh, we got a heart. Okay.
Oh,
we got a heart.
All right. We'll tell you what it is.
Nice.
So it's AV, my initials, AV, and then the word stretchy. So AV. Yeah, and that's basically the code I use for all my stuff. So.
Fun fact.
That's my password for everything, for my bank and everything. Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Chase Manhattan, AV stretchy. We're going to drain the account. Awesome. So 15% off.
15%
with
off.
AV stretchy.
We'll post that.
Is there like a website or something?
Yeah,
or do you have to send a self-addressed stamped envelope?
Yeah, the website is called Hello. So like hello Ned. So helloned.com, and we'll post that in our stories. Okay.
We will post that in our stories.
That's a lot to remember.
15% off. Yeah, CBD. Yeah. We are fans of CBD.
And I won't go into why this product is amazing. We can talk about that some other time, but I fully get behind this product. And like I said, I've been using it for 3 years and it's amazing. It's third-party tested. So there you go.
Yeah, it's very nice in training and in performing. Anna and I both enjoyed it before the Metropolitan Opera.
Yes.
And we have a story about me at the gym. I think that, what episode is that in? That's probably the supplement episode.
It's the supplement episode, yeah.
Check out the supplement episode and you'll hear about me taking a little too much CBD with something maybe else in it. I don't know, but I was like, wow.
No, don't give CBD a bad name.
No, not at all.
THC.
Yes.
That's different. Yeah.
That's different. That's different. But it was kind of nice too. All right, we're going to entertain some more questions. If you have anything about injuries, working through injuries, training during injuries, I think we've spoken a little bit about that. But you just want, the main thing is acknowledging the brain aspect of it and acknowledging that when the injury happens, when you have to go in for a surgery, you're going to go in. If you're going to do this for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, there's going to be things. And if you really love it, it's like a relationship. It's like if you want to throw it away, you'll throw it away and get a divorce and just like move on. But if you want to fight and really make it work and you still love it, then you're going to make it work and you're going to come back from it. And it might take 6 months and it might take a year, but it'll come back because you love it and because we love it. And I think that both Anna and I have had that experience with this relationship of contortion because it really is, it's a thing. It's a relationship that you have to feed and water and love like at least every other day, maybe every 3 days if you really want to get away with it. But, so it's not easy, but it's the passion that we all basically have because we're all here and we're all contorted humans and we're tuning into contorted and you'll stick with it, and the more you love it, the more you'll fight to keep it, but
I think it also just bears mentioning that it's going to change over the years, it's not going to stay the same. And, you need to just mentally be okay with that. You're not going to be, I've definitely lost some flexibility, some range over the years due to injuries, due to whatever, but that's fine. I went in a little bit of a different direction and I decided to become stronger. I decided to shift my training a little bit to meet where I was in my life instead of just insisting on doing the same thing and getting the
1000%.
same bad result or the same injury over and over. So you have to be, you know, flexible body, flexible mind type of thing.
1000%. And I love that
Yeah.
Atko gave us a yes and 100% for that too, because she's awesome. But it's totally, you know, you're not going to be the same contortionist you were when you're 20, that you were when you're 30, that you were when you were 40, that you are when I'm 50. You know, it's like, you know, I mean, and in some ways, I'm a much better, more interesting 51-year-old contortionist than I was as a 25-year-old contortionist. You know, and you have to be into that and expect it and allow it.
Yeah.
So,
and
that
it's
got a
very
lot of
mental
parts.
too.
Did you see that?
It's very mental.
Very, yeah.
You got a heart storm.
I got a heart storm. Oh boy. All right. Well, we're gonna try and keep to our thanks, Atko. We're gonna try and keep to our like 20-25 minute window. So if you have any questions, feelings, comments, concerns, it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about contortion, right, Anna? They could ask us about, like, I don't know, nuclear
anything
physics.
You want to ask after cardio weight training. Contortion training, stretch time for bed. Would love to hear what professionals you two have used to help you recover, physical therapists, acupuncture. All of the above. I just think people have different preferences. I mean, I think personally, I love physical therapy. I have a great physical therapist here in New York City, and I personally really like to learn from my injuries. So with each injury, however small it is, I try to learn as much as I can and continue to apply that. I'm very much into kind of taking matters into my own hands as best as I can. So I learn everything I can, and then I try and apply it, you know. Acupuncture, how do you feel about acupuncture? I don't think I've ever talked to you about acupuncture.
I've had a lot of acupuncture.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, James McLean is my guy in New York City, and I've had good things with acupuncture.
Yeah.
I have. You know, I think that, like, it definitely, like, works in the meridians. You know, it cleans up the meridians. It's kind of like it's flossing, and different injuries demand different things. You know, some things are more meridian energy based, and some things just need to be gotten in there and attacked, and some things need to be physical therapized. So it's like each one kind of like demands their approach.
Yeah.
My guru,
and I
mean,
think
like,
it's important to know. Sorry, go ahead, jump.
I was just gonna like plug Karen Rudiger again, just because she has, you know, like Anna has brought me back from the dead. Karen Rudiger, R-U-D Rudiger, R-U-D-I-G-E-R. She has brought me back. You know, she brought me back completely. You know, she is like, when you're at the end of your line and you have no clue, and the doctors don't have a clue, give her a call. And there's other people like that in the world, maybe, but you need to just like put them out. So different injuries have different, and in the end, physical therapy, when you find a good physical therapist, stick with it and just keep flossing the joints. What were you going to say, Anna?
I was just going to add that I very much agree with what you said, that different injuries demand, you know, different strategies and or different methodologies. And I think it's up to you, as, you know, the person who's injured, kind of figuring out, I mean, through trial and error, but for example, let's say a joint-based injury, in my experience, you always need to get stronger, you know? If it's a trauma injury, like you've fallen, let's say, you know, and you need some pain relief, like immediate pain relief, I would say acupuncture is helpful. I would say acupuncture is good. We talked about red light therapy, right? That's another good thing. But for me, and the way I like to train myself and my students, is at the base of all of this is strength. And it usually involves an issue of imbalance and then a lack of strength. And your body wants to be the best possible, you know, most highly functioning machine that it can. but sometimes it misunderstands the situation, and you'll start compensating in order to achieve what you can normally achieve, right? And you're not even aware of that. So I think, again, I can't speak highly enough about weight training, about strength training, doing your PT exercises just as diligently as you're doing your contortion.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many, the longer you stay in this game, the more kind of incredible it is, the parts and pieces that are involved to keep, to keep it running and to run it smoothly. Like I'm just going to come back for a second to these 8 months that I haven't been doing back bend to handstand, and it just came back for me like 2 days ago. I've spent the last 8 months doing, back bend to handstand off a raise, and Anna and I have both showed it, if these are your feet, and just working through, like running the scales, and just like rehabilitating the strength of the shoulder and the musculature connection through doing the motion and the movement, but just like for 8 months, because that's what it demands and that's what it takes.
It takes time. It really takes time. And so I think just, to finish off, it's be patient with yourself. That's the most important thing. Be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself, but don't give up, just keep doing it. Stay in the game. We know a little bit about staying in the game, right?
Oh, yeah. It shows a bit of our insanity, but it's the game we love. We love the game. And that must be good to be back. Oh, it feels so good to be back, honestly. I'm going to post it on a story. I did it tonight down at the beach gym, and it was so nice. So it'll be in a story because Instagram doesn't like videos. Get no retention from videos. Sir Gymnast, thank you. Goals are that much more cherished when we work hard for them and take the time. 1,000%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
So, Anna, it's been so nice to see you.
Oh, likewise.
Oh, you said it. Thank you. And all of you beautiful contorted people, thank you for tuning in. If you've missed any episodes, check out our channel on the YouTube, Contorted.
Yes. So how about we post the channel, our YouTube channel, and we'll post the 15% off discount for the CBD for you guys.
AV Stretchy. AV Stretchy. I'd go beautiful to see you. All of you, beautiful to see you. Stay strong, stay happy, stay contorted.
Love you. Thank you, guys. Talk to you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.